In a distant land, surrounded by golden palaces, lay the kingdom of Olympus. This realm shone with the courage of its warriors and the wisdom of its queen, Althea. She was famed not only for her beauty, but also for her sharp mind and just rule. Yet, beneath it all, she carried a secret longing, a yearning for the divine world of the gods. One stormy night, lightning split the skies above the palace. Zeus, the mighty king of Olympus, watched from his throne. The fearless spirit of this mortal woman stirred something deep within his immortal heart. Without hesitation, he descended amidst the thunder and appeared before Althea. Althea, Zeus said, "Your courage and the pure light of your heart echo through my eternal realm. Come with me, and together we shall rewrite the fate of the heavens and the earth." But Althea was not ready to abandon her mortal world. "The realm of gods is filled with legend and power," she replied, "but my people, my kingdom, are here. Love lives where hearts unite, not just in strength." So, Zeus descended into the mortal world and journeyed beside Althea into legend. Their kingdom faced threats. Dark forces marshaled armies to seize her throne. Yet, where Zeus's divine power met Althea's mortal resolve, armies faltered. Battlefields echoed with thunderbolts and clashing swords. Their love, however, was tested not only on war's front line. Zeus knew the mortal bounds that limited Althea's days and feared the storm it would bring to his eternal heart. Althea watched the years pass, feeling her time slip away. One day Zeus offered her a choice. "I grant you immortality. Come to Olympus and be forever at my side." Althea smiled and said, "Immortality is losing the meaning of life. My love lives in the mortal world, in hope reborn each day. If to be with you forever means being immortal, then you must remain mortal with me and cherish every moment of life." Moved, Zeus broke his own laws to protect their love. Each night they met among the stars, calling to one another through storms and silence. Kings and warriors whispered their tale, honoring a love that no heaven or earth could bind. Legend tells that when Althea passed, Zeus transformed her soul into a shining star, one that burns eternal in the night sky. Their love became an immortal saga, a story before which even gods and kings bow, endless and eternal, after Althea's transformation into a radiant star. The kingdom of Ilindora was forever changed. The people whispered of the night sky's guardian, their beloved queen, watching over them from the heavens. But peace was fleeting, far beyond Ilindora, in the shadowy lands of the warlord King Draven. A fierce rival rose. Draven's armies, clad in black armor and wielding swords, forged in the fires of ancient curses, marched toward Ilindora. He coveted its wealth and sought to claim Althea's throne, unaware that the goddess-blessed love of Zeus and Althea had ignited a power stronger than any mortal blade. Zeus, torn between his duties on Olympus and his love for Althea's people, descended once more, not as a storm or a flash of lightning, but in the guise of a mighty warrior named Thaler, whose strength was whispered of in legends. With his aid, the warriors of Ilindera prepared for battle. Among them was Kalin, a fearless prince of Ilindera, and Althea's loyal cousin, who bore the queen's signet ring, a symbol of her blessing. Kalin and Thaler formed an unbreakable bond, brothers in arms, destined to defend the kingdom. The battlefield became a stage for the clash of gods and men, mortals and immortals. Thunder rolled as Thaler's spear struck with divine fury, while Calin rallied the soldiers with fierce courage. Yet, in the midst of war, Althea's star flickered, a sign that her spirit was fading from the sky. Zeus's heart shattered. He realized that their love, while eternal in legend, was bound by time's cruel hands. In desperation, Zeus sought the oracle of Delphi, who revealed a perilous path to save Althea's soul and Zeus must sacrifice his divine immortality, forsaking Olympus and his godhood, and walk as a mortal beside her once more. Faced with losing everything, Zeus chose love over power. He descended from Olympus forever, his lightning fading to a gentle glow. Together, Zeus and Althea, now both mortal, led Ilindora's final stand against King Draven. The war raged for days, but the bond between mortal queen and fallen god inspired an unyielding hope. When Draven was finally defeated, the people of Ilindera hailed their rulers, the mortal queen and her warrior king, whose love had conquered gods and men alike. And so Zeus and Althea ruled side by side, their love a legend whispered through ages, a story of sacrifice, war, and an unbreakable bond that neither death nor time could sever. Years passed, and under Zeus and Althea reign, Ilindera blossomed into a golden age. But peace rarely lasts in a world touched by gods. Whispers began to spread of a dark sorcerer named Malachar, once a trusted advisor to King Draven, who had escaped defeat and was hungry for revenge. Malachar's magic was fueled by forbidden powers. He sought to tear apart the bond between Zeus and Althea, believing that if their love was broken, so would their kingdom fall. Disguised in shadows, Malachar infiltrated Ilindora's court, weaving lies and distrust. He whispered poisonous words into the ears of Calin, stirring jealousy and doubt. Can the god who gave up immortality truly be trusted, or does his sacrifice hide a secret ambition? Calin's heart wavered. The signet ring of Althea felt heavier on his finger as uncertainty clouded his mind. The prince began to question whether Zeus's fall to mortality was a cunning ploy. One fateful night, under a blood-red moon, Malachar unleashed a terrible curse, the Veil of Forgetting, a magical mist that seeped through Ilindera's streets, causing memories to fade and hearts to turn cold. Althea awoke one morning, unable to remember Zeus's face or the love they shared. Zeus's own memories flickered like dying embers, determined not to lose what made them whole. Zeus and Althea embarked on a perilous journey beyond the mortal realm to reclaim their stolen memories. Guided by the ancient phoenix of the first flame, they traversed realms of fire and shadow. Along the way, they battled monstrous guardians born of Malachar's dark magicrats that whispered their deepest fears, trying to shatter their unity. At the journey's climax, in the heart of the eternal labyrinth, Zeus and Althea confronted Malachar. There, the true test awaited. To break the curse, they had to relive their greatest moment of love, the night they first met amidst the storm. Recalling every spark of passion and every promise, their bond reignited like a celestial fire, burning away the veil of forgetting and shattering Malachar's dark magic. Returning to Ilindora, their memories and love restored, Zeus and Althea found Calin humbled. Having seen the truth and banished the seeds of doubt, their tale grew ever richer. A saga of love, tested by war, betrayal, and magic, one that would be told for centuries, inspiring all who dared to believe that even gods and mortals together can forge a love that defies fate itself. News of Zeus's mortal life and his love for Althea rippled through Olympus, stirring unrest among the gods, for the divine realm thrived on immortality and power, and Zeus's choice to live as a mortal was seen by many as a betrayal. Hera, Zeus's queen and sister, burned with jealousy and fury. She could not tolerate a mortal woman sharing the heart of the king of gods. With icy resolve, Hera summoned the council of Olympus. "You who have witnessed my reign, will you allow this love to weaken the throne of Olympus?" Zeus's defiance threatens the very balance of power. Some gods nodded, their pride stung. Among them was Ares, the god of war, eager for conflict, and Athena, wise but bound by duty to uphold the laws of Olympus. Together, they decreed a challenge. Zeus must prove that love and mortality could coexist with divinity. If he failed, he would be stripped of any remnants of godhood, and Althea would be cast from his side forever. Zeus accepted, standing before the council in mortal form, but with the fire of Olympus blazing in his eyes. The challenge was set: a quest into the labyrinth of eternity, a mystical maze said to hold the very essence of time and fate. Zeus and Althea had to retrieve the eternal flame, the only force capable of binding mortal hearts to the divine without breaking the laws of Olympus. Guided by Hermes, the fleet-footed messenger god secretly sympathetic to Zeus's cause, the lovers ventured into the twisting, shifting maze. Inside, they faced illusions conjured by the gods themselves, visions of loss, despair, and betrayal meant to shake their resolve. They saw a future where Althea aged alone, where Zeus abandoned Olympus but lost his power and purpose, but their love, forged through fire and war, held strong. At the heart of the labyrinth, they found the eternal flame, guarded by the ancient Titan Mnemosyne, goddess of memory and time. Mnemosyne posed a final test to claim the flame. Zeus and Althea must sacrifice their memories of each other, the very foundation of their love. Faced with losing the past that defined them, they hesitated. Then Althea spoke: "Even without memory, our souls will find each other, for love is more than what the mind recalls." Zeus nodded, and hand in hand, they chose sacrifice. As their memories faded, a brilliant light enveloped them. When it cleared, they stood anew, their hearts eternally bound by the eternal flame, a divine gift that transcended memory and mortality. Returning to Olympus, the gods marveled. Even Hera's icy heart softened, recognizing a love that redefined power itself. Zeus and Althea, mortal and divine, became legends not just of passion, but of sacrifice, courage, and the eternal dance between gods and humans. Years after Zeus and Althea's memories were sacrificed, and their love bound by the eternal flame, their union bore fruit: a trio of children, each embodying the strength of Olympus and the heart of mortals. Eryx, the eldest, was a warrior born with the thunderous power of his father and the fierce spirit of his mother. His sword could summon storms, and his courage inspired entire armies. Leora, their daughter, was gifted with the wisdom of Athena and the gentle compassion of Althea. She became a healer and seer, able to glimpse the threads of fate and guide lost souls. The youngest, Kelion was a master of both stealth and strategy. Blessed by Hermes himself, he was swift, cunning, and fearless, an unmatched protector of Elindra. But their rise was not without danger. Malakar, though defeated once, had returned in secret, his dark magic now stronger than ever. He sought to shatter the bloodline that united gods and mortals, believing that by destroying the heirs of Zeus and Althea, he could plunge the world into eternal shadow. The siblings, united by bond and purpose, set out on a quest to stop Malakar's return. Their journey took them across realms, through haunted forests, ancient temples, and forgotten islands, each trial testing their powers and their unity. Along the way, they discovered the true legacy of their parents' love, a power beyond thunder and magic, the unyielding strength of family and sacrifice. In the final battle, beneath the blood-red skies of Eryx's storms clashed with Malakar's darkness. Leora's visions guided their allies, and Kelion's swift strikes, banished by the combined might of gods and mortals, peace returned. The story was far from over. The children of Zeus and Althea became legends, heroes whose names echoed through ages. Their adventures, trials, and triumphs were celebrated in song and story, a testament to a love so powerful it transcended realms and shaped destinies. Eryx had grown into a formidable warrior, his presence commanding respect from kings and commoners alike. Yet, beneath his thunderous power lay the burden of living up to the legacy of his parents, the mortal queen and the god who gave up Olympus for love. One evening, as dark clouds gathered unnaturally over Elindra, a chilling wind swept the kingdom. The storm of shadows was coming, a tempest born not of nature but of ancient, malevolent magic. Whispers spread that Malakar's dark spirit had returned, seeking vengeance from beyond death. Summoned by the elders, Eryx prepared to face this new threat. Armed with his father's enchanted spears afroze, Wrathy rode toward the gathering storm, lightning crackling at his command. But the storm was no ordinary tempest. It was a manifestation of Malakar's lingering curse, twisting the skies and warping reality. Shadows formed into monstrous creatures, phantoms of despair. Born from the fears of Elindra's people, Eryx's battle was not only physical but spiritual. Each strike of his spear shattered a shadow, but each victory seemed to birth to more. His storm roared louder, yet the darkness pushed back, feeding on doubt in the heart of the storm. Eryx faced a terrifying vision, a mirror image of himself, twisted and corrupted by shadow. This dark reflection taunted him. "You are but a child of gods and mortals, weak and torn. Your legacy is a curse." But Eryx remembered his mother's words. Strength lies not just in power, but in heart and hope. Summoning every ounce of courage, he banished the reflection with a bolt of pure lightning, cleansing the storm's core. As dawn broke, the storm of shadows dissipated, and Elindra's skies cleared. Eryx returned victorious, but changed. He realized that to protect the kingdom and honor his parents, he must master not just the storm outside, but the shadows within. His journey was just beginning. Your path of heroism, sacrifice, and the eternal struggle between light and dark. Gifted with the sight beyond sight, was revered as Elindra's greatest seer. From a young age, her dreams were woven with visions, whispers of the past, present, and futures yet to unfold. One night, under a silver moon, Leora awoke with a chilling vision. The veil of fate, an ancient magical shroud, was unraveling. If left unchecked, it threatened to tear the threads of destiny that bound the realms together, plunging gods and mortals into chaos. Guided by her visions, Leora embarked on a quest to the Oracle of the Silver Grove, a hidden sanctuary where time folded and secrets. The path was perilous enchanted forests where trees whispered forgotten spells, rivers that flowed backward, and shadows that shifted with the flicker of a heartbeat. Along the way, Leora was joined by a mysterious stranger, Kalin, a warrior who bore the mark of Althea and shared a deep bond with the royal family. His sword and shield were unmatched, but his past was veiled in secrecy. Together, they faced trials that tested their courage and trust, puzzles of light and shadow, guardians of ancient knowledge, and riddles spoken by the winds. At the heart of the Silver Grove, the oracle revealed a terrifying truth. The unraveling veil was the work of a forgotten god, Nixer, god of chaos and night, who sought to remake the world in darkness. To mend the veil, Leora had to weave a new tapestry of fate, intertwining her own life force with the threads of destiny. It was a sacrifice that could bind her forever to the magical realm, losing her place in the mortal world. With Kalin's steadfast support, Leora embraced her destiny. Her weaving magic restored balance, healing the veil and sealing Nixer's chaos. For now, returning to Illindora, Leora carried a new power, the gift to glimpse possibilities, yet unseen, and guide her people through uncertain times. Her journey deepened the legacy of Zeus and Althea, showing that love, wisdom, and sacrifice were the true forces shaping fate. Kalin, blessed by Hermes, was Elendira's most elusive protector. Swift as the wind and sharp as a blade, he moved unseen through cities and forests alike, a guardian who struck before enemies even knew they were threatened. One fateful night, rumors reached Illindora of a secret Cultva Veilburn disciples of Nixer, the god of chaos, who had tried to unravel fate itself. They sought to steal the celestial compass, an ancient artifact said to guide souls through realms and times, now kept hidden in Illindora's vaults. Knowing the dire consequences if the artifact fell into darkness, Kalin embarked on a covert mission to uncover the Veilburn's plans and protect the compass. Disguised as a traveler, Kalin infiltrated the cult's shadowy ranks, navigating webs of lies, deception, and danger. His keen mind and quick reflexes were tested as he gathered secrets and sought the cult's hidden lair. But the Veilborn were no ordinary foes. Their leader, Seraphine, was a sorceress of unmatched cunning, able to twist shadows into deadly weapons and sow discord with a whisper. As Kalin edged closer to the heart of the cult, Seraphine's traps grew more deadly. In a breathtaking confrontation beneath the ruins of an ancient temple, Kalin faced Seraphine and her shadow wraiths. Using his speed and Hermes' blessings, he danced through darkness, turning her magic against her. With a final, daring move, he seized the celestial compass and shattered the cult's power. Returning to Illindera, Kalin's bravery ensured the safety of realms seen and unseen. But he knew this was only a chapter in a greater tale, a battle that would demand all his cunning, speed, and heart. Thus, the legacy of Zeus and Althea lived on in their children, heroes whose adventures bridged gods and mortals, shaping a world where love and courage were eternal. As Eric's, Leora, and Kellyan's legends spread across both mortal realms and divine planes, Olympus stirred with unrest. The gods watched with a mixture of awe, envy, and fear. Some, like Apollo, admired the children's courage and saw in them hope for a new era where gods and mortals might unite. Others, however, saw them as a threat to the delicate balance. Hera's jealousy simmered anew. Her heart hardened against the family that had so boldly challenged divine order. She conspired with Ares and Hades, plotting to diminish the children's influence in a secret council hidden within the clouds. The trio devised a plan. They would summon the siblings to Olympus under false pretenses and bind their powers with ancient chains forged from the essence of the underworld and war, summoned by a divine message. Eryx, Leora, and Kellyan ascended the steps of Olympus, unaware of the trap awaiting them. Upon arrival, the gods revealed their intentions, declaring that no mortal-blooded offspring could hold the power of gods without consequence. A fierce confrontation erupted. The siblings fought valiantly, their powers unleashed in a dazzling display of storm, light, and speed. Yet the gods' chains began to glow with a dark power, threatening to bind their very souls. But just as hope seemed lost, the voice of Zeus himself thundered across Olympus. I stand with my children. Their love and strength are born of sacrifice and unity, not defiance. The King of Gods shattered the chains with a mighty strike, challenging the old order to accept the new balance. Moved by Zeus's conviction and seeing the siblings' unbreakable bond, the gods hesitated. Athena stepped forward, offering a new covenant. The children would be guardians of both mortal and divine realms, bridging worlds and guiding fate. Thus, Olympus evolved a realm where gods and mortals coexisted, their destinies forever intertwined. The saga of Zeus and Althea's eternal love became the foundation of a new mythos, a timeless tale of power, sacrifice, and the limitless strength of love. With Olympus forever changed, and the children of Zeus and Althea honored as divine guardians, peace seemed within reach. Yet fate had one final challenge in store, a test that would seal their legacy for all time. A rift opened between realms, a swirling vortex where time and space blurred, threatening to consume both gods and mortals alike. From this breach emerged Erebus, the primordial god of darkness and shadow. Jealous of the light born from Zeus and Althea's union, Erebus sought to plunge all worlds into eternal night, to unravel the threads of destiny woven by the eternal flame. Eryx, Leora, and Kellyan stood united, their powers combined and strengthened by the blessings of Olympus. Alongside their parents, they ventured into the heart of the rift, a realm where reality bent and legends came alive. There, in a battle that shook the cosmos, thunder clashed with shadow, wisdom pierced darkness, and speed outpaced despair. Zeus wielded the full might of Olympus once more, Althea's mortal courage inspiring every strike. Their children fought with unyielding valor, each unleashing the unique gifts of their heritage. In the final moment, it was the love shared among them, mortal and divine, past and present, that ignited a radiant light, banishing Erebus and sealing the rift with the realms restored. A new age dawned, one where gods and mortals lived not as masters and subjects, but as partners in an endless dance of fate and freedom. The tale of Zeus and Althea's love, eternal, unbreakable, and ever-renewing, became legend, whispered among stars and sung by bards across worlds. And so, their story will never end, for as long as hearts dare to love beyond limits, their legacy lives on. Years had passed, and peace reigned over Olympus. Yet, deep within the kingdom's hidden places, an ancient legend began to stir once more. There was a lost descendant of Zeus and Althea, child born of both divine blood and mortal life, raised far from the eyes of gods and men. Destiny was unlike any other. She belonged neither fully to Olympus, nor entirely to the mortal realm. As her powers awakened, she found she could hear the song of lightning, glimpse the delicate threads of fate, and whisper to the winds themselves. But inside, she struggled to find where she truly belonged. One night, as shooting stars blazed across the sky, Selene received a vision, a shadow rising from Erebus's ancient darkness, plotting a new scheme that threatened not just Olympus, but all worlds. Torn between her heritage and her own path, Selene knew she had to rise as the new beacon of hope, a hero who could bridge the divide between gods and mortals. The gates of a new era were opening. With Selene leading the way, old enemies would return, new alliances would form, and the eternal legacy of love would birth fresh legends. Selene stood at the edge of the ancient forest of Olympus, where the veil between worlds was thinnest. The air shimmered with magic, and whispers of forgotten gods floated on the breeze. Her heart pounded not just from the unknown dangers ahead, but from the weight of her bloodline. Her first trial was to seek the celestial mirror, an artifact said to reveal one's true self and destiny. Without it, she could never fully understand her place between mortal and divine. Guided by a mysterious raven named Nyx, who spoke in riddles and seemed to know the secrets of the gods, Selene ventured deeper into the forest. The path was treacherous. Guardians tested her resolve, illusions tempted her doubts, and shadows whispered fears she had yet to face. At the heart of the forest, beneath a silver waterfall, Selene found the celestial mirror. As she peered into its depths, the reflection shattered into countless shards, showing a different version of herself. A goddess, a mortal, a warrior, a healer, a queen. Overwhelmed, Selene realized her destiny was not a single path, but a weaving of many. Her strength lay in embracing all parts of herself. Suddenly, the mirror's shards reformed into a glowing sigil, the mark of the eternal flame. A voice echoed in her mind. Only by uniting the divine and mortal within can the shadows of Erebus be held at bay. With renewed purpose, Selene knew her journey was only beginning. The fate of Illindora, Olympus, and all realms rested on her shoulders. Selene emerged from the shimmering depths of the celestial mirror's reflection, her heart racing with the weight of revelations. The myriad versions of herself, goddess, mortal, warrior, healer, queen, reminded her that her destiny was not one path, but a tapestry woven from many threads. Her mind echoed with the ancient voices warning, only by uniting the divine and mortal within can the shadows of Erebus be held at bay. Yet, even as resolve filled her veins, Selene felt a chill crawl along her spine. The shadows stirring in Erebus's name were no longer distant threats, they were awakening. spreading through Ilindora's land like a creeping frost, returning. From the forest, she found Ilindora's once vibrant streets touched by unease, crops withered under an unnatural gloom. The stars themselves seemed dimmer, their light swallowed by an encroaching darkness. Word reached her of strange disappearances, vanishing in the night, whispers of shadowy figures lurking just beyond the fire's glow. Selene knew Erebus's agents were already at work. Determined, she sought counsel from Ilindora's elders and the remaining gods who still lingered among mortals. Among them was Thaler, the mighty warrior who once walked Olympus as Zeus's avatar, now a seasoned protector of the realm. Selene, Thaler said gravely, the balance your parents fought to protect is fracturing. Erebus's shadows hunger for the eternal flame's power, and for your very soul. Selene realized that to face Erebus, she would need allies beyond blood and power. She needed to unite the fractured kingdoms, the wary gods, and the mortals, who still believed in the old legends. Summoning a council, Selene called together kings, queens, and divine emissaries. The great hall of Ilindera echoed with tension, bound by a common threat. There was King Arion of the Northern Highlands, a fierce warrior king skeptical of gods and their meddling. Queen Meles of the Southern Isles, a wise ruler with knowledge of ancient magic, and High Priestess Solara, keeper of the sacred rites and bearer of prophecies. Erebus seeks to unravel the very fabric of our worlds. Selene addressed them, her voice steady yet filled with urgency. We cannot face this darkness divided. The council was fraught with debate, old grudges, fears of divine interference, and political ambition threatened to unravel their fragile alliance. Yet Selene's presence, the weight of her lineage, and her unwavering conviction began to inspire hope. The first mission the council agreed upon was to find the eternal flame's heart, a lost artifact said to be the source of the flame's unending power. Without it, the flame was vulnerable, and Erebus's darkness could extinguish it forever. Selene volunteered to lead the quest, accompanied by Thaler, Kalenda, loyal warrior she trusted, and Nyx, the enigmatic raven who seemed to hold secrets of his own. Their journey took them beyond Ilindora's borders into wild, uncharted lands. They crossed deserts where sands whispered forgotten names, climbed mountains where the air shimmered with magic, and sailed seas where time bent like waves. Along the way, the group faced trials meant to test their worthiness. In the caverns of echoes, they battled illusions that forced them to confront their deepest fears and regrets. Selene faced visions of failure, of losing those she loved, and watching the realms fall into shadow. Thaler grappled with his own past, memories of battles lost and friends fallen. Kalen confronted doubts seeded by Malakar's earlier curses, questioning his loyalty and strength. Only through trust, courage, and unity did they overcome the cavern's deadly traps. At the summit of the Peak of Stars, they met the celestial guardians, ancient spirits, who demanded a sacrifice to prove their sincerity. Selene offered not blood or power, but her own vulnerability, her willingness to embrace all parts of herself, mortal and divine, light and shadow alike. Moved by her honesty, the guardians granted them passage and revealed the resting place of the eternal flames, heart hidden in the ruins of an ancient temple lost to time. As they approached the temple, Erebus's forces ambushed them, shadow wraiths and twisted creatures born of darkness. A fierce battle erupted beneath the broken pillars and shattered statues. Lightning clashed with shadow magic. Swords sang through the air as Selene and her companions fought side by side in the heat of the battle. Nyx revealed his true forma, divine trickster god, bound to guard the flame's secrets. His aid turned the tide, but at great cost. Kalin was gravely wounded, his fate uncertain. Selene held the eternal flame's heart aloft, feeling its warmth fight against the chill of Erebus's dark magic. With the artifact secured, but their numbers diminished, Selene knew this was only the beginning. The shadow of Erebus still loomed, and the fragile alliances forged at the council would be tested. But with the eternal flame's heart in her hands, the strength of her family's legacy behind her, and the courage of her companions beside her, Selene vowed to fight for a future where love and light would always endure.